All right, this weekend it is UFC Noche. Yes, it has been 1 year since the UFC thrilled audiences at the Sphere. Oh my God, that fight card was unbelievable. The graphics, the money that was spent was unbelievable. But more importantly, the fights delivered. So many people out there were on the Sphere card, okay? And then look what we saw. We saw an incredible night of fights. And this weekend, I'm telling you, we're going to see the same thing. Listen, there's good fights on the undercard, but the main event is absolutely ridiculous. Of course, we've got Diego Lopes that was tearing through the UFC, got a shot at the belt, came up short against Alexander Volkanovski, and he's going up against one of the hottest prospects in the featherweight division. Of course, I'm talking about Lord Jean Silva. That is correct. This man, a member of the Fighting Nerds, of course, who, remember, sadly to say it, a bit of a fall from grace last weekend in Paris, so he's going to be fighting with a lot of pressure, but he's coming into this one also very, very confident. He's always confident, and I'm not surprised he got a record of 16 wins, 2 losses, 12 knockouts, 3 submissions. Only once has he gone to a decision. But when you look at the Lord, Jean Silva, he feels that he's just going to walk through everybody. That's what he did against Bryce Mitchell, got him in the ninja choke. Bryce was kind of a little bit too tentative in that one. Melsit Bagdasarian, oh my God, walked forward, boom, knocked him out cold, punches and elbows, and that was that. Drew Dober, that was crazy, spinning back elbows. Charles Jourdain, same thing, second round, knocked him out clean. Weston Wilson, of course, got the job done as well. But Diego Lopes, we're talking about a very different animal here. Diego Lopes is a tremendous fighter. He's got excellent boxing, and he also fights with the ferocity to match Jean Silva. And he ain't going to be intimidated. He doesn't care about Jean Silva. He doesn't care about the team Fighting Nerds. He doesn't give a shit. Okay, he's one of the best featherweights on the planet. If it hits the ground, good luck down there on the ground for Jean Silva and for Diego Lopes. It'll be a tremendous fight, and I hope that we see it. So, who do I think wins that fight? Well, you're going to have to watch to the end of the video, because let's go through some of the other fights on the card. All right, if you're a boxing fan, then you're in for a treat, because we've got a fight that transcends titles. We've got Canelo Alvarez, the undisputed champion, taking on the 3-division king, Terence Crawford. That is correct, and guess what? If you want to make the fight even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook, I've got an incredible offer for you. New customers that play just $5 will receive $200 in bonus bets instantly. All you got to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. Use the code Bisping when signing up, and as I say, bet just $5 and receive $200 in bonus bets instantly. Then you can stay in on the action. Use the $200 in bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same fight. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on in-progress fights right as they happen, making watching the matches that much more exciting. And if sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry, you can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Pick 6 and have the shot to win cash prizes. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers use the code Bisping, bet just $5 on any wager and receive $200 in bonus bets instantly. That is code Bisping only at DraftKings Sportsbook. All right, so opening up the main card, we have a UFC newcomer. So go ahead, talk all of your Santiago Luna, better known as the Border Boy. He's coming in and he's taking on Quang Bang Lee. A lot of you might say, whoa, why is this opening up the main card? Well, let me tell you right now, Quang Bang Lee, that's what he does. He walks forward, he fights out of Vietnam, and he loves a scrap, okay? And Santiago Luna, I'm telling you, the Border Boy is not afraid of having a row, and it will be absolutely tremendous. But I do think that Santiago Luna, the newcomer to the UFC, will be victorious in that one. Then we move on. We've got Kelvin Gastelum taking on Dustin Stoltzfus. Kelvin Gastelum, we know what's going on with this guy. He's kind of inconsistent lately. He lost to Joe Pyfer last time. He beat Daniel Rodriguez. He lost to Sean Brady. He beat Chris Curtis. He lost to Jared Cannonier and Robert Whittaker. Certainly no shame, but he's up, he's down, he's missing weight. Is he dedicated? Is he still hungry? Has he still got his mind in the game? I don't think so. You know, listen, he's had a good long career, and of course I've shared the octagon with him. He loves to talk a bit of shit. I'm no stranger to getting abused by Kelvin Gastelum. Couldn't give a water off a duck's back. He's 33 years old, but he has been around the UFC for a very, very long time. He was on The Ultimate Fighter way back in 2013. So he's been a part of the roster now for 12 years. Dustin Stoltzfus, this is a really good matchup because Dustin Stoltzfus is big, he's strong, he can wrestle, he's got knockout power as well. 16-7 overall. Last time lost to Nursultan Ruziboyev, but before that he did knock out the power bar Marc-Andre Barriault. This is a tough one for both men, but I do think Dustin Stoltzfus walks away with the victory over Kelvin Gastelum. Moving on, Jared Gordon taking on Rafa Garcia. Another one. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be an absolute banger. Jared Gordon has got a very, very inspirational story. He's been very open about his addiction issues in the past and how he's turned the corner and how he's living a great life. He's completely sober, but some of the stories that he shared with me on the podcast, doing crack underneath Madison Square Garden and then winning at Madison Square Garden, getting a knockout and getting a bonus, it really is inspirational for anyone watching that's dealing with issues. I'm telling you, Jared Gordon, look at that guy as some form of inspiration. And he's also having a great career in mixed martial arts. 21 wins, 7 losses, 8 knockouts, 2 subs. Of course, very known for having that close fight, highly contested, controversial loss to Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. A lot of people thought that Paddy won. The reality is it was a close fight. Who cares? But that shows you the level that Jared Gordon was at. And let's remember, last time out of the Apex, he got a knockout over Thiago Moises. Let me tell you, Thiago Moises is a really good fighter. Jared Gordon knocked him out cold. Now, Rafa Garcia, 16 wins, 4 losses overall, only 1 knockout, 8 submissions on the record. Last time out fought Vince Pichel. Before that, lost to Grant Dawson, was taken down and elbowed. That's what Grant Dawson does to everybody. Beat Clay Guida, beat Mayashate, the Chinese fighter as well. So he's beaten some good guys because Mayashate is not an easy guy to beat. But I'm telling you, I think the momentum is on the side of Jared Gordon. Rafa Garcia is a really tough, physical, strong fighter. He's very stocky for the weight class. He is very strong. I think this one predominantly will play out on the feet. I'm sure Jared Gordon's going to look to shoot in and take it down to the ground. Ultimately, I think Jared Gordon probably wins via decision or gets a submission late in the fight. Moving on to the co-main event, we've got Rob Font taking on David Martinez. Now Rob Font, we know this guy. He's been around for a very, very long time, and he's doing big things now. He lost a few fights along the way. Lost to Jose Aldo, Marlon Vera. No shame in this. Davison Figueiredo, Corey Sandhagen. But when he stepped down a little bit, he fought Kyler Phillips, beat him by decision. Beat Jean Matsumoto. If you're not a hardcore, maybe you don't know the name Jean Matsumoto. But I do. I called his fight on the Contender Series. He's a very, very good fighter. And Rob Font looked really good, just like he always does, using that boxing, using that jab. And he's taking on David Martinez. Now, David Martinez, 12-1, 10 knockouts, 0 submissions. How's this fight going to play out? It's all going to be on the feet. Rob Font, I don't think is going to shoot. David Martinez isn't going to shoot. Rob Font presents a massive opportunity. Now, David Martinez, as we know, has had 1 fight in the UFC. He got the win over Simon Oliveira. He got it done in the very, very first round, and that's what he does with all of his fights. A record of 12-1 with 10 knockouts. And of course, he got that in the UFC debut. And I think, sadly, he might get it done again because Rob Font's going to stand and bang. Martinez is going to stand and bang. He's younger. He's got less miles on the clock. However, the experience is on the side of Rob Font. I've just got a feeling that with it being UFC Noche, the momentum is going to be with David Martinez, and he's going to take this one via stoppage. All right, without further ado, let's get into the main event. Diego Lopes versus Jean Silva. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Diego Lopes, I am a massive fan of. I love the way he fights. I love the boxing. I love the speed. And Jean Silva, same thing. Jean Silva tends to throw kind of more singular shots where Diego Lopes puts together beautiful, ferocious combinations. On the ground, I think it's pretty even. But as we know, Caio Borralho lost. Maurizio Hufi lost. So maybe that's kind of developed a chink in their armor. It's all about this. It's all about the mind. It's all about confidence. And they really thought that they had some kind of special recipe. And of course, they've got a tremendous record. The reality is Caio Borralho lost because he went up against one of the very best in the world, who might be the next champion. He might be Hamza. And of course, Benoit Son, didn't he beat Maurizio Hufi? He just went forward, he grabbed a hold of him, he nullified the striking, he cracked him in the face, kicked him in the head, took him down and tapped him out. Absolutely no shame. And it's not a stain on their training style or what they're doing in the gym or anything like that. They just stepped up to that next level. But Jean Silva is going to know that. I feel that that might weigh on him heavily. And Diego Lopes has the experience at the higher level, obviously fighting against Alexander Volkanovski. He didn't win that fight. He's going to right the wrongs. He's going to make little tweaks to his training camp, to his preparations, because of course he's not giving up on becoming a champion. And I'm talking a lot, but I'm not saying much. What I'm going to say is Diego Lopes, that is my choice. I think he's going to put together combinations. I think on the ground he can handle Jean Silva. I think he's going to put together a beautiful combination, catch Jean Silva, drop him, call him back to his feet, and drop him again. But what do I know? I love both of these guys. This fight is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, ring the bell. See you soon.